Here is the Padlet link. Please click on to the link and then start reflecting, teachers. When you click on to that Padlet link, you will, when you click on to the QR code, you will get into the Padlet link wherein you have these 5 questions.
The
Just
Padlet link is shared in the chat box. You can make use of it.
the first question is, how do you understand assessment in your teaching practice? The next one, what does assessment look like in your earlier classroom? Next, how do young learners show agency during learning and assessment? In what ways do children currently express voice, choice, or ownership in the classroom? Last question, what questions or curiosities do you have about assessment and student agency? Yes, dear, to understand the level of students' understanding. Assessment happens every day in the classroom. Perfect, ma'am. Through observation. Yes, teachers, it's 11:40 now. So I'm closing this and we'll go to the PPT. So as you all told, it's very obvious that assessment happens in every day through every activity and through every student reflection. Basically, where student agency takes place in early years and how assessment happens and what is the role of the teacher in assessing the children. We are going to see all these one after the other. So first, student agency takes place when learners actively participate in their own learning as well as assessment. So in case if we want to say agency takes place, we teachers should create an environment where learners make choices in what they want to choose for a particular learning goal. And we have to give them options to express their ideas in different ways. Thereby, they could reflect and take appropriate action. For this, I would like to share an example of framing sentences. The learning goal here is to frame sentence. So we need to create an environment where children take choices. For this, I have to set up a table with picture cards, word cards, as well as action cards. Children are given choices here where a child can take a picture card and say or frame the sentence just by looking at the picture. There are few other children in the class who can take the action card, first act it out, and then they can say the sentence. By this way, we give choices as well as options for the learners to express their ideas in different ways. Rather, at the end of the session, when we post a question like, was it easy or was it tricky? By then, students can share, it was easy to frame the sentence, but I missed a word. When the child says when he missed the word, we need not interrupt and we need not give options. The child by themselves can say, I added the word at last. Here, the child reflects and the child is ready to take action from the previous learning. So by this way, when we give learners the choices to make, when we give the learners the choices to choose, and when we allow them to communicate in the ways they want to express their learning, when we give them time to reflect and take appropriate actions, definitely student agency will take place in every classroom. The next one, how assessment happens and the role of teachers in assessment. Basically, in early years, we does every activity based mostly on child-centric and we teacher indulge in everything. For this, I would like to share an example of sand play. So during sand play, we let the children use buckets or any other spades or any other cups which are readily available and we'll give the children to play with that. As children play, they take turns, they converse with each other, they share materials, and they even solve problems. So when a child says, I have collected these many buckets of soil, and when another child says, oh, the castle is going to break or fall down, so we need to add some more water. Here, language skill takes place, math skills takes place, where problem solving as well as thinking and communication skills. All the skills are majority taking place. One second. Chandani, is there any problem? Am I getting, is my voice and everything, is it audible?
Everything is right, ma'am. You're
Okay,
able to see your screen and you were also able to hear you. Good to go.
okay. Sorry. So when all these things are taking, when all the skills, when the children express, we as a teacher, we stand next to them, watch what is exactly taking place, and when we record all these, here we take the role of an observer. And at the end, when we pose questions like, was it easy, or why the castle fell down, or what did you do to make it stand longer? When children readily answer these questions, we are taking the role of a facilitator. At last, once every process is over, when the children get back to the class and when we sit next to them and ask, how was the day? What did you do there in the sand play? And when children answer, we simply need to record exactly the same words what children says. By this way, we become co-assessor. So in early years, assessment and learning takes place through play, exploration, and conversation. And the role of teachers are observer, facilitator, and co-assessor. In none of the places, we need to interrupt the children. We just observe, record, and document. This is the only work that we may do. For the documentation purpose, we can take photographs or we can write what the children says. Next, I would like to share few of the strategies that worked well in our classrooms. First strategy is choice path cards. In choice path cards strategy, it is all about giving multiple choices to the learners. Here, I have given three choices: say it, show it, and build it. You can add up your own choices like draw it or act it or any other. So depends on the activity. The choices can be chosen by the teacher and we can give it to the learner. Here, the learning goal is pattern. And in this strategy, we have given children different ways to show their understanding of patterns. When we say, you can say it, show it, or build it, some children explain the pattern by saying it aloud like red, blue. Whereas some other children can show the pattern by doing rhythmic clapping pattern. Whereas few other children can build the same pattern using blocks or any other material that we give them. This strategy works because children learn in different ways. It reduces pressure, builds confidence, and keeps all the children engaged. Now, the next strategy that we are going to discuss is magic choice bell. In magic choice bell, we use it is a very fun-filled activity actually. So when we ring the choice bell, it tells the children that they can choose how they want to show their learning. It makes the entire classroom calm, fun, and focused. Here, the teacher has to be very cautious that we have to give only two choices to the children. If we give more than two choices, there may arise confusion. So, we can begin this by saying, now For example, now it is about language learning. And when I ring the bell and say magic choice time, whether picture card or action, a child can take up the picture card and say the sentence like the boy drinks coffee. And the other child who is very good when it comes to action can do the action and then say the sentence. So in this, the children are getting chances to express their ideas in their own ways. So when children respond, we teachers simply listen and observe the sentence structure, vocabulary, and the level of confidence they have. This choice helps children feel safe and confident. We assess learning by listening and watching while the activity is happening without any interruption. So this is all about magic choice time. The next strategy is the learning buddy puppet. Here we have a puppet which acts as a buddy to the learners. Here we generally give instruction to the children like your learning buddy feels confused and he needs help. So you need to help your learning buddy. Our learners will sit next to the learning buddy and they will explain the concept very confidently to the puppet. So here the learning goal is about more or less in math. When we say that the learning buddy is confused, could you please help your learning buddy? So the child sit next to the learning buddy, compares compares two different groups of objects and explain this group has more this group has more block so many blocks, so it is more. This group has fewer blocks, so this is less. The child explains this either by counting or comparing to the learning buddy. The child feels safe and confident because they are not answering to an adult, they are answering to the puppet. So this strategy works well because it removes fear, build confidence and courage where children use their voice freely. Here, the role of the teacher is to observe and record. We need not interrupt. So in all these strategies, the teacher takes the role of the observer. Next, fix it first rule. Here, in fix it first rule, self-correction will be taken place all by the learners rather than by the teacher. So, in this strategy, when students frame here, this is also about the English activity. Here, when we ask the children to frame sentence and when we notice that children make a mistake or miss out a word, we, we need not go sit to the child and say, you have made some error. Rather, we can say, please fix it by yourself. Try one fix by yourself. By this word, the children may correct the sentence all by himself or herself, either by rearranging the words or by uh, adding or removing certain things. So this way, this strategy gives children time to think again and correct the sentence on their own. This fix it first rule build confidence, thinking skills, and responsibility for their own learning, and creates a safe space where children are not afraid to speak. Here, the role of the teacher is to watch how the children does the self-correction all by himself without getting the answers from the teachers. The next strategy is act it out. So action check. In action check, children normally act what they hear. This strategy particularly works well for learners who has difficulty in framing long sentences. So when learners are in language development phase, And when we need to check on their understanding, we can use this strategy. In this, instead of giving a big or lengthy answers, learners show their understanding using their body. We simply say, show me with your body. If a child understands the concept, the body shows it. For example, when we ask the child to jump slowly, and when the child jumps exactly the way how we say, it means that the child generally understood the concept. Next, when it comes to math concept, and our instruction has to be when it is more, the child has to stand tall. And when it is less, the child needs to crouch down. So if the child understands this and does the action appropriately, we can very well understand that the concept is registered. So this strategy works especially well for who finds difficulty in expressing their ideas or using pen and paper method. And it helps us to see the immediate learning. Action, check, turns movement into assessment and gives every child a clear and comfortable way to show what they actually know. Now, we came to the last strategy. Here, this is learning photo walk. In learning photo walk, what we used to do is that we just give an activity to the children. We we just give an activity to the children and we used to photograph it in three different stages: at the beginning, at the middle, and at the end. So once the child does the work, completed the work, we sit with the child, show the photograph to the child, and we ask the question like, what is happening here? The child looks at the photo and explains how the sentence has changed and why the child has changed the sentence. The child may say, the I have started the sentence in a very simple way. Rather, I elaboratedly explained it when I go to the next level. So this way, assessment happens through observation and their thinking and language. uh, we record how the child thinks and how the language has been enhanced. So assessment happens through this conversation and children take ownership of their own learning and we clearly see the progress is happening naturally and in a meaningful way. So now it's time to reflect. There are a few questions and I want you people to reflect on the same. And if you have any doubts, feel free to ask now. So one strategy that you will try in your class, one way you will give learners more voice or choice when assessment moment that you people are already using in your classroom, and one question or any help that you need. Thank you everyone for the feedback.
Thank you, Selvarani ma'am, for your
Thank you.
effort and time. It was such a beautifully articulated session. Your ideas were relevant, inspiring, and thoughtfully connected to earliest practices. Few practices were really new to us, and we would like to implement it in our own classrooms, like act it out or help your buddy. It's very really interesting. Sure, we will have a try with it. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Every day it goes through observation. Yes, ma'am. Assessment looks through observation.